I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call for the approval of the minutes of the October 12th, 2021 meeting.
Second.
Been moved, seconded, discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Public forum for this evening?
Yeah.
Call to the podium, Philip Younger. The subject is my child's health.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I'm here today because I care about my child's health. So so I have a question, and I was wondering when we will end the mask mandates, and if anybody has any answers for that.
Superintendent?
Yes. So right now, the state education department in the state of New York has a mask mandate for school districts. And we're mandated to follow the mandate. And we have not been advised. I know there's some discussion in the state about when that mandate can be lifted, but we have no indication that that is going to happen. But we are following the guidelines of the New York State Education Department.
Okay. Because a few times I had my child come home, and she's complained about, well, actually she's been to the nurse, and she said that she needed her inhaler, which is weird because she's never needed her inhaler. When she's dancing, she likes to dance, she likes to run, but for some reason, she comes home and she tells us that she needs her inhaler. So I'm just assuming that's because of she's wearing a mask all day and sitting at the desk and walking around, and I believe that it's affecting her. So I just believe in protecting my child, and I just want to protect my child.
So I would tell you this, I'm going to call you tomorrow if you can leave your phone number with me.
Okay.
I can't talk about your child in a public forum like this, but we can have a discussion about what the concerns are. We can have the discussion with the principal and the nurse in the office too.
Okay.
There's different strategies we have with mask breaks that we might be able to look at, but I don't want to talk about, you have privacy rights, so does your child. This isn't the forum, but we can definitely speak tomorrow about it, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
Mr. Matrician?
Yes, sir.
Can I say my piece here? I commend you, Mr. Younger, because I feel the same way. We're reading, and I'm on the minority on the board on this, so just so you know. We're reading studies that masks, from the CDC's point of view, don't work. We're seeing studies that show that the science that they're quoting doesn't work. And we're seeing an increase in protests across the country from parents for the very same reason. So I commend you for that, and I hope more parents will come forward and express that point of view. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I want to add also that back in, because I know the media, they're just saying a whole bunch of things, but I want to say back in 2008, there was a study done by Dr. Fauci and two colleagues of his, he co-wrote, and back in 1918, the Spanish flu, their conclusion was that most deaths were from bacteria pneumonia. So I want to protect my child from that. I get if, if anybody feels a certain way about virus or whatever stance you have, but kids are virtually not affected by it. And so I just want to protect my child, but just protect anybody else's child. I'm willing to do that.
Appreciate that, Philip. Appreciate your comments, and the superintendent will be in touch with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll move on to reports and correspondence. For myself, just like to give a thank you to Trustee John Burns and his Hall of Fame committee for a job well done. It was well put together. The breakfast was well attended. Good to see Mr. Lewin back in the area, along with the Nieves brothers and Daniel Borriello and everybody that was in attendance. And the event went very well from all perspectives. And thank you for all the hard work you put into that. And we look forward to next year's Hall of Fame committee.
And I'd just like to say the superintendent and I have had a discussion after that, looking at ways to improve it even more, getting greater attendance. She said the district would help with publicity. We'll set the date in advance and the whole procedure. COVID threw us for a loop there, obviously, in the scheduling, but we think we're going to make it even better position. And I will tell you this, that, someone like Lance Lewin or the Nieves brothers were very touched by coming back. And one of them said they've been inducted into several wrestling Hall of Fames, and this was the most important to them. Daniel Borriello, and it was just a great day all around. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank the superintendent, her administrative team, the radio and TV folks and their students did a great job with the program and the music. Patty Steinhoff's on the committee. There were just a lot of people. Kim Orr in the athletic director's office, just helping every time. You couldn't do this alone, and it's really a great event. And the superintendent and I really feel it's like a great publicity situation for the district to talk about. And the lady that's done the trophies for the district for the last 20 years said to me, "Wow, you really have some great people coming out of Belleville." And I said, "Every school does, but it really is nice to have these folks get recognized," and they were very appreciative. So thank you for that.
And thank you. Jody and Lisa, we got something about the logo. Anything you want to share?
I don't know if there's anything that we want to share, just that in front of you have the new
Seal.
Tree of Knowledge seal that we are going to hopefully be able to adopt today. The designer that did the Blue Devil and the E for us is the same designer that did the logo for us for the seal. So if you guys would look at the pamphlets that were handed out, and if you have any questions.
Just want to comment that not only is it one seal, they gave you a sample on how it'll look in black and white, on different colored things. So I think we handed out a packet to you to show
Yes.
you all the different alternatives it'll look like depending upon what we're putting it on.
On the last page, it is set up for each of the buildings as well.
Thank you for that, and thank both of you for your hard work on this and all the people that were involved in it. It came out real nice. Is there any more work for this committee to in the near future?
Nope, all done.
All done. So I therefore will abolish the committee and thank you for your work. Wayne.
Yeah, thank you. This version is much more of what I thought it should be. Last time we had a presentation, so thank you for the hard work. Also, John, thank you and your Hall of Fame committee for last weekend. It was a great day. I attended, unfortunately not the breakfast, but I did attend the Hall of Fame ceremonies, and as in years past, it was great. My question, John, to you is, the budget line for the Hall of Fame is pretty small. Do you need more funds in order
The
to?
superintendent and I talked about that, and we're going to work out a way to get that taken care of. I'll just say this to the board. We had the softball team come in, and in the future, we'll have teams coming in. I feel, and I think it's important, because people are all over the country now. When the softball team came in, I think like 14 out of the 16 made it back to that day. I don't want to bring somebody back. And technically, if a team goes in, that individual is not in the Hall of Fame, the team is. But if you were on the 72 soccer team, Phil, and you won sectional championships or something, I don't want you to come back and say, oh, Phil, here's your certificate. I feel it's important that they get something that shows that accomplishment. And the plaques are nice plaques, and they're expensive. So if we get a team in that's a larger team, say a football team would have 28 or 30 people, we don't have the money right now in the budget, but the superintendent and I are talking about how to rectify that so that we could do it for everybody that would get it.
And I had spoken to Vince about that, and he assured me that they were, that you would have available to you and what they could find and make sure that that was taken care of.
And it will be taken care of moving forward.
Is there a ceiling on the amount or?
I believe so.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Wayne. Iris?
I just wanted to ask the superintendent if she could address whether the theater program is going on now, and
Yes.
When you get your turn, I'd like you to talk about the theater.
Okay.
Any other board members have anything for this evening? Okay, you're getting your turn, Superintendent.
Okay. So I'll start with the theater and the music. We are planning on having a theater production for the senior high school in the spring. It's a little tight right now for the junior high. We're still hoping that there'll be some, there could be, hopefully, some movement on the requirements, health and safety. Speaking to my colleagues across the county, many are planning for the concerts also. We still have to follow some of the protocols, the safety protocols. We're looking at the logistics of that. With regard to the theater program, we do have people internally now, some of the new staff that we have that have put in for production.
Oh, they have?
Yeah,
Okay.
and we still want to work collaboratively with the Shadowland. I know we were all committed to that when we didn't have a director, but even with the director, there's a lot of support that they could provide to us. So my plan is to still go forward with that.
Excellent, thank you.
And we're planning on a spring event.
Excellent.
I have two things this evening. I just want to remind everybody that we will be having a job fair on 2 dates, upcoming on Wednesday, November 3rd from 5 to 8, and Saturday 11 to 6. November 6th from 9 to 3, a Saturday morning till the afternoon. We'll be interviewing, taking applications, having people fill out applications for all of our substitute positions, certified teachers, uncertified teachers, monitors, security, clerical, aides. We'll be interviewing for all those positions, and hopefully we can get all our reference checking done quickly and get some appointments on the 9th. That's what our hope is, that we'll have. We're advertising all over to see if we can have, if people are interested in subbing and working in the district, coming to a job fair and seeing if we can get, there's a terrible substitute shortage in the state and the county, and we're doing whatever we can to try to generate some more interest.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we post the job vacancies on the website?
We do. We post
We
them
do.
on the website. We post them on Facebook.
Because I didn't see them, but that doesn't mean they're
But
not there.
I'll double check that, but they should be posted, as soon as the postings should go up on the website, so we'll double check that.
Okay.
But they're definitely posted on Facebook.
Yes,
whenever
I don't
there's
use
an opening.
Facebook,
Yeah,
so I'm
okay.
a website person. So Vince, where would I look on the school website for that?
So the easiest way to do it is to search for employment. But let me get it for you right now.
Also, we were going to put the legal notices on the website also, if you remember. We were talking about that.
Nafisa, are we putting the legal notices on the website? You don't know. We'll find out about that and get back to you.
It's okay, Vince, you can show me another time. I mean, it's not
Okay.
necessary.
Okay, yeah.
I just wanted to know that.
The next thing I just wanted to go over is some of where we are with the athletic program, the fall sports. So I want to start with the varsity boys soccer. Last Friday, they won their first round of sectionals. They played Fallsburg and won 7-0. And yesterday, they moved on to the second round. And unfortunately, it was a hard loss to Marlboro, 1-0. But I really wanted to thank Coach Mead and the whole team. They played really, really well and hard, very dedicated this year, and they had a great season. And we'll recognize them again, but that leads me into girls soccer. They were supposed to be the first round of sectionals tonight. The board should know that they're playing in Spakenkill tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Cross country, if anyone's interested in going to any of these, contact Nafisa and we'll get you more information. Our cross country team is going November 4th to Bear Mountain for that sectional play. And our football team will go to their first round in the sectional games this coming Saturday, 1 o'clock in Pauling. So if anyone has any interest in going to any of those, please let us know and we will make sure that you get the information on where that is. But
Could you ask the athletic director, Kermit Moore, to make sure that he gives us reports on where our athletic teams are and upload it into our board docs so
Sure.
that we're aware of it? Thank you.
we'll put this in so that you have it.
Just like to have the athletic director keep us.
Okay. I'll ask for a report periodically through the season.
Next, Assistant Superintendent for Business, Mr. Vince Napoli.
I have nothing to report tonight, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Superintendent, Mrs. Oh, sorry.
Can I ask Vince a question?
Yeah.
So as I walk in today, I see a few buckets laying around. With our roof being mostly finished from our projects, how many leaks are we seeing? And how many of those leaks are in old spots of the roof and compared to new positions?
Sure. So we had 7 today. Couple of them are on the old roof that we haven't repaired yet. One of them is in a room underneath where we've got pointing of bricks on the second floor of the elementary school that is going to be repaired as part of the capital project. And we only have a problem there when we have a driving rain like this. So just a normal rain doesn't matter, but when the rain's coming in sideways, it soaks into the bricks and it gets through the pointing of the bricks. That's the mortar between the bricks, and then it leaks into the building. And we have a couple other spots, like there's one right here. We'll have to have that looked at. That was the roof that was done 4 years ago. So we'll have a roofing company come in and take a look at it to see whether there's a tear in the EPDM or if there's something that came loose, whatever. But it is on the radar of our construction manager, and he's going to have a roofer out here as soon as the weather clears up to take a look at it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is it under
I
warranty?
was going to ask, is under warranty?
It is. Yep. Right. All the roofing except for the white roof on the elementary school, that's all under warranty. And if you've ever tried to find a water leak, it's really hard to do, because it could come down on this side of the building or this part of your living room and follow a rafter down and be leaking over there. And then you spend, days looking in your attic for it. And our attic is really big. And it's hard to find a leak when it's not raining. So they have to kind of figure it all out. But to answer your question, almost all of our roofs are under warranty except for that one.
Thank you, Vince. We'll move on to Deputy Superintendent, Mrs. Kelly White.
Good evening. I just want to update the board and the community on 2 items. In November, there's going to be information distributed to various stakeholder groups about our 2022 through 2025 instructional technology plan. In your board packets, there was a proposed timeline for the development of that plan, and I'll be working with Moses Aponte to develop that, but we will need stakeholder input from students, parents, teachers, administrators. So there'll be some surveys and focus groups put together to gain feedback to develop that plan. And additionally, last week, we had pushed out information to our parents regarding the student level digital equity survey. So each year, annually, districts are now required to collect data from parents regarding their access to internet-enabled devices and broadband in their home. And that data is collected and reported to the state. So the survey does need to be filled out for each child in the home, and we'll be pushing out regular reminders over the next 2 or 3 weeks. For anyone that we don't get responses for, we do need to call individually and collect that data. So if there isn't a response to the survey, we'll follow up with a phone call to collect the data.
Thank you, Mrs. White. We'll move on to personnel resolutions for this evening. Under 5.1, resignation. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be resolved the resignation of Leslie Streeter, detention monitor, be accepted effective October 20th, 2021. It's been moved.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All those in, oh,
I'm just
Iris?
curious, so she's resigning from what is her position? A
Detention monitor.
Does she have to give any, lead time? There's no
No, we have
notice?
substitutes that can step in to do it.
So there's no requirement. She can just come in one day and say, I'm not here anymore and be gone, and there's no requirement. Okay.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 5.2. Co-curricular, upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved the co-curricular personnel is set forth in the attached list be approved at the contractual rate for the 21-22 school year.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 5.3, memorandum of agreement. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be resolved that the memorandum of agreement between the Ellenville Central School District and the ETS RPA Teachers Unit be approved as attached.
Second.
Move seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 5.4, upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved the memorandum of agreement between the Ellenville Central School District and the ETS RPA Teachers Unit be approved as attached.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one. Motion carries. 5.5, home tutors. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved that Piper Tickner, Christy Wilson, Emily Vosper, Nancy Sheriff, Allison Chapin, Patricia Steinhoff, Kimberly Kraft, Victoria Matrician, and Allison Robinson be appointed for home tutoring at the contractual rate for the 21-22 school year.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion?
Are we, Lisa, we have an increasing number?
Of home tutors,
Yeah,
of
no,
tutoring students?
yes.
Yes, yeah. And that's due to quarantining and isolation.
Okay.
So we're always trying to catch up, but every time we have an issue with a group of students having to isolate, we're providing them tutoring because we're not doing remote instruction.
Have we gotten reports on COVID cases? Testing positive?
We haven't had any this week. I think the last one was either Thursday or Friday last week.
Okay, thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? And I have to abstain, my daughter's on there. 5.7, or no, excuse me, 5.6. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be resolved that the appointment of Ryan Chouse, Buildings and Grounds Maintenance Worker 1, be made permanent following a successful probationary period of 6 months effective November 6, 2021.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Resolved that the compensation for substitute position be set as follows, effective October 27, 2021 through June 30th, 2022.
I'll move.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion?
I
All
think
the,
it's important for people to know that we're trying to improve the number of subs that we have coming in the district. Every district is increasingly short. So hopefully it'll get us some people.
any further discussion on this? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved that Marvine Woodley be appointed substitute cafeteria monitor for the 21-22 school year.
So moved.
Move seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of Superintendent of Schools, be it resolved that Leonard Quick be appointed as a substitute security attendant.
moved.
Second.
And moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Resolved, the Board of Education hereby rescinds the resolution set forth as Agenda Item 6.10 under Personnel on the agenda of October 12, 2021 regarding the appointment of Christine Younger as cafeteria monitor.
So moved.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Miriam Handler be appointed part-time cafeteria monitor at a rate of $16.13 per hour work, not to exceed 29 hours each week, effective October 27, 2021. Civil service position requires a 6-month probationary period ending April 26, 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be resolved that Natasha Royden Montes be appointed part-time cafeteria monitor.
moved.
It's been moved, seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Daniela Marine be appointed part-time cafeteria monitor.
So moved.
Been moved,
Second.
seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Peter Melee Jr. be appointed as a cleaner.
So moved.
Been moved. I need a second. Discussion? Iris?
I got a question about this. It says plus night differential of $7.53 prorated effective November 12th, 2021. So prorated means back pay, basically, or it's just because he's starting later?
He's
Oh,
starting
okay.
later.
Yeah, I got it mixed up. Okay, thanks.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 6.1, resolved that McGivney, Kluger, Clark, and Natasha be appointed counsel to represent. Gotta go back.
5.5.
My calendar does not have that. Let's see.
You want mine?
Yeah, it's not done.
You got it, Lisa?
She's got it, but I'm gonna see if I can get this up online.
You want me to read it?
No, just want to see if we can get this to work.
You want to give me that? I'll show you.
Yep. Try and see what's going on with it. Please stand by. We're having technical difficulties. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be resolved that Michelle Denny be appointed as a registered nurse at a contractual rate of $51,638. Step 1, bachelor's plus 0 with a 6-month probationary period effective November 15th, 2021 through May 14th, 2022.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, be it resolved that Crystal Kaninsky be appointed as a registered nurse at a contractual rate of $51,638. Step 1, bachelor's plus 0 with a 6-month probationary period effective November 15, 2021 through May 14, 2022.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Now we go to 6.1. Resolved that McGivney, Kluger, Clark, and Natasha, PC, be appointed counsel to represent the eligible.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Budget resolutions.
Motion for 7172.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Education resolutions. 8.1, resolve the attached list of student IEPs be acknowledged as appropriate. There are
So
38.
moved.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 8.2, resolve that the Lori Stickles Award in the amount of $500 be established pursuant to the terms and conditions and criteria designed by the donor.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. 8.3, Board of Education goals. Resolve the Board of Education goals for the 21-23 school years be approved as written.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Under 9.1, construction
Motion
resolutions.
to move 91 and 92.
Second.
Motion to move 9192. Motion seconded. And any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion carries. Other resolutions. Resolved that the Board of Education adopt the school seal as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. Iris?
I just want to thank Lisa and Jody for pursuing this and being tenacious enough, and I really appreciate how it turned out. I think it's even nicer than the one that came before, so thanks a lot.
And on behalf of the board, thank you for all your hard work and diligent work. It's been a long road. So thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? No one? Motion
Why
carries.
The devil looks like John.
What's that?
What's
Why
that?
does the devil look like John?
I think that was intended.
All right. Next meeting, mark your calendars, November 9th, 2021. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion. All those in favor? Opposed? No one? We're adjourned.